What's up everybody, it's your boy Corey, KGQ Saint, back from the reaction video. Finally, post a week, but this is finally Death Battle, Buffy, Blade versus Buffy, Marvel Comics versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So like I said, a lot of people were shocked about this announcement and see how it's going to work. Me personally, I got Marvel, I definitely over Blade because I know him a lot more and better, but Buffy wins, I ain't going to be tripping, but I don't know what it is. It's just a funny, good feeling, man, that they might pull out some stuff to show that Buffy win. If she wins, that is. But anyway, I just want to let's go again into the video. You already check everything looks good. You already know special question. Y'all comment below. Let me know what you react to. In case you want to see, in case you do see some cuts kind of made, just me adjusting the camera, still working on Kill It Chip. Like I said, I got one better side hustle now where I'm making more money. Actually, save them, do better stuff. So expect some new, better equipment eventually soon. But anyway, let's get it. It was a lot of action. That probably Blade design. Okay, I gotta look at this.
Buffy, the Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. They are known by many names: Revenant, Vortilaat, Nosferatu. Vampires.
Nosferatu.
When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead
it's cool since it's October now.
The greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day. Blade. Is that really his costume? Hang on. Now
yeah, that's his original design look. I looked it up
Blade is one of the
years ago.
Superheroes ever, and
the new design looks a lot better. When I first got news of Blade, he was in that Spider-Man cartoon that came on back in the day, in the 90s.
In the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody talks about this. Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself. Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric Brooks' mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost. And he drank her blood right before she gave birth. This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier, giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight. Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good. Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts, and his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding. He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies. After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu. While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
Great fun fact, I don't think a lot of people knew that Wesley Snipes was a high-skilled martial artist.
Jiu-jitsu, Eskrima, kickboxing, Shotokan karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman. Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there. Forced to murder.
What if you were prepared for all those interview curveballs?
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone, nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
I gotta look at Whistle's not a real combo character. I don't think so. I gotta look it up.
And tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations. Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium.
Yeah, I saw the comment. Appreciate you agreeing my opinion that Blade versus Deathstroke will be a very good fight.
Specifically,
I appreciate you.
Adamantium. a variant of the metal that is mass producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Men like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blade's even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers,
Okay,
he
you
prefers
defeated
to work
Zarathos?
alone.
I
Interesting.
probably would too if they only
Survive
cared
Hulk
about me
throwing
when I
him
was
into the
helping
sky.
them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness, a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so
Yeah.
after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of vampires, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the
Interesting.
world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not
I
be
gotta
so
look it up.
lonely
That's the
anymore.
first
With his
vampire. I
daughter
gotta
at
look
his
it up,
side,
Marvel.
and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware. For should they indulge
thing
their
is.
unnatural urges, they will be
I
sure
remember
to
this
meet their
scene.
end at
Say,
the
oh,
tip
you
of
think I,
his
well,
blade.
you didn't think I forgot about you, huh? That was weak. Yeah, Blade 2, my
Today's
favorite
battle
movie.
is
My favorite
sponsored
Blade
by
movie.
Prize Picks.
You know what's awesome? Being right, especially when your co-host is always wrong.
Funny, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. It's good to be right.
The
Oh, go back. Sorry, screw. Sorry about that, y'all. Just want to skip past this and get to Buffy.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything, Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater,
Sorry, I'm
and
just
die.
calculating.
But that
Time,
would all
I'm
change when
multitasking stuff
Watcher
in my
Merrick
house.
appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slaying, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, alright. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy
Let's say
and
I
her
don't know any of
Scooby
these
Gang
cool-
would
any
battle a
of these
never-ending
characters are.
series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're
I
just
forgot what
crazy
store
enough
I
to
actually
speed
walked by.
read
I
them
think it was in a
all.
bookstore
Buffy carries a
once
variety
looking
of
for some,
anti-vampire
looking for
weapons.
something.
There's wooden stakes,
Yeah,
of course,
I actually saw
sometimes
that. I was
dipped in
surprised
Gorgon
about
venom
that.
can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrilion's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional
Yeah, I think
ones.
this might
Being the
give Buffy
Slayer
the
put a
edge.
huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned
recognize-
evil after he
I
took her
recognize so
virginity
many
and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even
Okay, yeah,
subconsciously.
that's
But
definitely
this
the
includes
advantage.
the
Kind of
memories
remind
of
me
their
of Black
deaths,
Panther having.
countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy
Oh my
sacrificed
God.
herself to save the universe.
Really? Did you have to say
dying a
that?
hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly
Unnecessary.
responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence. This
Paramount Plus has movies. Whoa. New movies.
Let's show the world what we're made.
This absolutely crushed Buffy and, ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The
Back in
Slayer
the day,
Scythe.
me and a
It's
friend of mine, we
actually a
did
party.
choreography. We just did
whatever. I'm just gonna say,
choreography like that
this
before.
thing is bullshit.
Containing the
I
essence
wish I
of
got
Buffy's
to fight
Slayer powers and
choreography,
created
but
to
you know, we
defeat
didn't end
ancient
up people,
demons.
you know.
The scythe can deflect magical
Yeah,
projectiles
I mean,
and slice
you know,
through
shoot
just about
opportunities out
anything.
there.
Ghosts, magic,
Still,
even space
continue to practice
itself,
martial arts is
destabilizing
my
reality
advice.
in the
I see
process.
myself
Even
martial arts
Silas, the
enthusiast.
devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Hey, as you know, it's Skeletober.
Okay.
You mean October.
No, stupid, it's the
Skip all this.
www.deathbed.
Let's get it, y'all. Okay, live action. Yeah, like we saw earlier. You would think they'd be working together a situation like this, especially as a vampire nightclub. Here's where there was a Slayer and Sinners. The Sinners movie, Michael B. Jordan, which, in my opinion, the best movie, one of the best movies of the year.
We were kings long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight,
I gotta look up the guy who playing Blade.
we
I thought about throwing my hair out like that, but nah.
Daywalker.
and she. That's just the start.
Oh, there's no. The soundtrack made me think, remind me of the Blade movies. Oh, that's dope. Soup list. I love those weapons from that movie. okay, this how the fight's gonna start. He's gonna put her out of misery because she's been bitten.
Wait! She was just a kid!
Not anymore.
There we go, those swords. Nice move. I like that. I've been trying. I'm getting a combat knife from my between my house once. Like I did train with knives.
You out your damn mind?
I like that move. Buffy on her own. Nowhere near their weapons or harm each other like regular weapons.
Amateur hour.
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate up here.
Oh man, that's crazy. I gotta look this dude up. Man, why the world an ad went through in the middle of this fight? Come on, I'm sorry, y'all. This pissed me off.
I decided it was probably not.
Let's get to it. Nice sword.
Another sword!
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Boy, he's been pretty good. Pretty good. Oh man, I got a funny feeling it's about to be over. Oh man. Yeah, my gut feeling was right. Room for Blade, but good Good job, Buffy. Good job. Respect.
It's like you got
Don't steal the shades. Come on.
ahead of yourself.
KO! To be Blade tenued no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics
Really?
than Blade.
Really? Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over
Yeah.
5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
True.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
True.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw
Yep,
Slayer
that's why I
battles dating
figured
back to the
her
Stone
ability to
Age,
draw
at least 40
experience.
times older than Blade, gives her the superior
Yeah.
skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the
Yeah.
Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring
Yeah.
god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire
Hey,
Slayer.
it is what it is. All right, who's
time
next?
on Death Battle.
Dante. Sorry about that, y'all. Something on my camera. I had to get time out. But anyway, I got to
Subscribe and join as a member to see.
Pretty good. Anyway, drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the fight. You happy or mad with the outcome? Make sure you give a boy a like, comment, and subscribe. Fantastic day. Peace.